sing the other song.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 445. It's Saturday, January 12th, 2013, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Internet talk radio for your imagination. Mike Matthews broadcasting from the last place on earth located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. Today we hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley. Plus we bring you the finale of Into an Interview with the amazing singer-songwriter Stacy Clark.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And it's sad to see a San Francisco local celebrity has passed away who had a wondrous spark.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Her name was Vivian Brown, and she, along with her twin, used to walk around San Francisco all the time. In fact, I ran into her once, and it was quite a mind-blowing experience. They used to walk around the city streets in high-end outfits, identical hairdos, and were always so nice to meet. In fact, I got a picture with them somewhere.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
But it's on, like, old film paper, and I can't dare
Mike's
to dive into that
Daily
big box of photos.
Podcast.
Because there's pictures of ex-girlfriends in there.
Yeah!
And, you know, being married and all that causes problems. Oh, look who just walked in.
Hello, Michael Matthews. This is Madame.
You're not going to say Rootabega?
Rootabega!
Okay, thank you. Yeah, these twins were fantastic. They were Vivian and Marion Brown, and I saw them once on the Tom Snyder Show. Did I say Tom Snyder Snow? Tom Snyder Show, when he had his show come back on television following David Letterman on CBS. I think this was in the 90s. There was a moment where he interviewed them. He was talking about San Francisco, and he interviewed Marion and Vivian Brown. And then a couple years later, I ran into them as I was walking around being a tourist in San Francisco. Tom Sweeney, the beefeater doorman at the Sir Francis Drake Hotel, said that the twins were the only living attractions photographed as frequently as he is, and their hours were similar. Their day began when most people their age were going to bed, he said.
Michael Matthews, I never sleep.
You don't?
No, Michael Matthews, because there's too much to do. All the time I have to do things.
Like, what are you doing right at this moment?
I am looking at you and wondering why.
That's what a lot of people do when they look at me. Oh, look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Hey, Valentino, you're not, like, named after the famous designer whom I saw on Project Runway All-Stars, are you?
No, Mike, but I get that a lot there. I don't design clothes. I design fantastic places to park the cars in the parking lot there.
Yeah, he's fantastic at it. He should get an award, or at least his own podcast. Do you know that?
You want to do a podcast?
Hell no.
All right. Well, if you ever met the Brown twins, or if you ever wanted to do your own podcast about a parking lot, do you hear that? Sounds like a tambourine in the background. That's Basil the boxer scratching himself and hitting his collar. So cute, having a dog. Anyway, you can email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. Also email me there if you'd like to be a guest on the show or if you'd like to sponsor the show. We read your emails on the segment Emails from Email. We also have the wondrous website called mikesdailypodcast.com, named after the show, where you can read the blog, see pictures of Basil peeing on Christmas trees. Also, it has on it the link to where to find us on iTunes, and if you subscribe to us there, why more people find out about us, so that we go from being completely unknown peoples, which probably is good for the peoples I'm standing next to right now.
Why do you mean that from your mouth there?
Exactly. And you can also check out there at mikesdailypodcast.com where to find us on Facebook, Twitter, Yelp, and YouTube, where you can see videos of the crazy Basil the boxer. All there at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Into an interview.
We're speaking with Stacy Clark. She's an amazing singer-songwriter, a super nice person. She did an amazing thing early on in her life. She got in her car and she went from Buffalo, New York to San Diego, and then eventually ended up in LA because she wanted to be a songwriter, singer, performer, and that's what she has become. What was it like in San Diego when you first got there?
Oh, I love San Diego. It's so beautiful, and the people are so nice. And I actually had a friend there. Her name is Stacy as well, who I met in college. And their family, let me stay with them for a month. And so she was like my only friend. And then San Diego, it was so awesome. I wanted to stay there, but I knew I had to be closer to LA. So at first I moved to Orange County, and I didn't really know anyone in Orange County, so it was just like starting over. But San Diego is a great, great, great town, and I would live there now, but it's, I got to be LA is where everything is going on.
And you've probably you've played at some coffee houses, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I did. I remember doing a couple open mics, and it was just different because before I moved to San Diego, I was like in New York City, and I had played some shows in New York, and it was like people in New York believe talent. Not saying they don't hear, but people who like play their instruments, they just like hone their craft during those long winters, and they just, I mean, I can't even tell you how intimidating New York can be. And I remember going to San Diego, and it was just like the open mics were super casual because, it was like more like reggae or like Dave Matthews type, Sublime type, and it wasn't like anything like, the blues, jazz, like folk scene out of New York City. With that said, there was a lot of talent in San Diego, but it was just like different. So I was a little surprised, but that's just how laid back it is. It's not like a city known for music. It's known for like great indie rock bands and Comic-Con and SeaWorld and so many other great things. But, there's something said about Nashville, Austin, Los Angeles, even Seattle, they're on the map for a reason.
Right. And then you win Best Singer-Songwriter Award at the Artist in Music Series in Los Angeles last year.
Yeah, that was really awesome because, I am a songwriter first, and then I would consider myself like a singer and a musician. But it's just nice to be recognized for something you love doing. So I've won awards in the past for being like pop artist, and I know that means like your pop songs and things, but I just almost think that's like kind of funny to me because I never like intended to be a pop artist. Like, whatever you want to call me, great. Like, but I love, writing songs, and my heart, it's like I'm a singer-songwriter, I guess even like folk artist. But, when you put production on anything, you can become country or you can become whatever artist you want to be. So
that's right.
I never intended, even with production I do, to be pop, but I guess it's kind of funny because, like, growing up, I think pop, I think like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and, and to be in like the same categories like Lady Gaga, you're just like, really? Like, I don't know. It's like an honor, but it's also like, really? Like, I don't know. It's almost like, I call it God's sense of humor.
You call it what?
God's sense of humor. Because
yeah.
like what you set out to be might not what you turn out to be in the end. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
now, so you have, I guess you've opened for quite a few interesting groups and acts. I saw something like Phantom Planet, one of my favorite groups, and who are some of the funnest ones you got to play with on stage, on tour, in concert?
I mean, definitely my top three, without a doubt, would have to be, Jack's Mannequin, because Andrew just really included me on that project of his, and it was so fun. So it wasn't just like opening, like, me and my band opened for his band, but also I got to be part of his band, which was like super fun. And we just did his last two shows to Alray, which were sold out in Los Angeles, and it was just like amazing. And just to be part of that was just really cool. So I really enjoyed playing with Jack's Mannequin. I love opening up for Plain White Tees was really cool because I was on tour with my best friend's band, Crash Boom Bang. They're a great band out of Washington, D.C., and actually they're on tour right now with the Gin Blossoms. And Omar, the lead singer, is just, best friend of mine, and I just freaking love the guy to death. I mean, we're like soulmates, but not lovers, if that makes sense. Like someone, yeah, I just love him so much. And so when I was on the road with them, I got to sing with my friend and his band, Crash Boom Bang, and they got on tour playing White Tees. And those guys are just awesome, really nice guys, very talented. And so it was cool to, like, play and open up for them as well, because there's nothing better than when you're on tour with people that you're actually friends with and that you like, you know what I mean? So, like, there's been other opportunities I opened up for some great artists, and they've been amazing. But sometimes, you know, they're just, like, and I get this, like, in their own, like, space. They don't really reach out to you or really care. It's just like you're there to play a show, it's work, and then you go home. So that's why my favorite artists is actually like Jack Mannequin and Freshman Bang playing White Tees. And I toured with a lot of great, like, you know, singer-songwriter people. Good friends of mine too.
How did you end up with Roger Hodgson? Seemed like a strange, because he's from Supertramp. I didn't even know he was still alive.
Well, Roger is my boyfriend. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Wow, you like him old.
Hey, the older the better. No, just kidding. No, Roger, I got asked to do that show. Art Park is a fantastic venue. It's actually the venue I saw Sarah McLachlan play at and Tori Amos, and I've been lucky enough to actually perform there a couple times now. Once was opening for America, and this past summer was opening for Roger Hodgson. And he, you know, their band is just, like, awesome, and they're so nice. But I was just so busy on tour when I got to open up for Roger. Like, I really didn't get a chance to, like, talk to him, because it was either I had to, like, stay all night or I had to, like, get to spend time with my family. And when you're on the road, you have to make those choices. Like, and obviously I wanted to, like, spend time with my mom and friends in Buffalo. So that show was super fun. Eddie Money's amazing, too. Like,
Eddie Money, too.
We opened up for him this summer. It was, like, hot as balls outside. It was, like, seriously, like, 98 degrees, and there was, like, no green room. He has, like, a big tour bus. We were, like, the subway, like, basically subway shop. We were just, like, sweating. I'm like, what is this? Like, I didn't, you know, it was just, like, freaking hot, and it was super funny. But, yeah, that was a super fun show, and he's a really nice guy. There's just, I mean, I just feel very privileged to open up for any artist that I respect. Like, you know, it's amazing, and I love what I do, but there's stories behind, like, everything, you know, and it's fun to have those memories.
I was supposed to meet Roger Hodgson in the 80s when I was getting started in radio, but he hurt his hands somehow. He, like broke his hands, and he had to cancel his tour because he plays the piano. And I didn't get to meet him. So you're the closest I've had to meeting him.
The funniest thing with Roger's piano, it looks like a grand piano, but on stage, it's literally like hollowed out, and there's like a keyboard where the keys would be. I was like, what is this? Because it's just like this beautiful grand piano, but then there's like this, you know, super fancy, maybe like $5,000 keyboard inside it. But I was like, wow, it was just really entertaining, because the one he plays is actually like, you know, just a keyboard and you can see it. But I found that interesting. I was like, wow. Like, so I'm like, how do you let this down? Oh, you remove all like the.
It makes it a lot lighter. But
it looks good. I'll tell you, it looks good.
So you've had music on the Kardashians and on the Hills and on MTV, on Sirius's The Loft, on commercials, Mitsubishi. And what's that like when you see, if you're like watching TV and bam, there's your song? Is that I know this is a stupid question, but what's it like?
I don't think there are any stupid questions, and I honestly have to say, like, at first it's just weird. You're like, wait a minute, I know that song. You're like, oh my God, it's me. But it's super awesome. I mean, it makes you feel like you're doing something right, and like all of your hard work and efforts are paying off, and it, makes you, obviously, getting recognized for anything makes, you feel good about yourself. Mm-hmm. But I just think it's really cool because I've always, wanted to be a songwriter and have my music on TV, and it's just a, real blessing, and I love it. I hope all TV shows play my songs. That's my goal.
And it works helping you sell records, because last night